Hi, Joe Reilly from National Drug Screening with my guest, Tom Fulmer, our Vice President of Business Development. How you doing today, Tom?
Doing great, Joe. Happy to be here.
Good. We're going to talk about a hot topic in drug testing for closing out 2025 and moving into 2026, which is oral fluid drug testing and options for oral fluid. And we're talking about non-DOT, non-regulated testing programs because in the DOT world, what's happening, Tom?
Well, we've hurried up and had oral fluid and finally gotten it through the process after years and years and years, only to be delayed because we don't have any certified labs. So we have some regulations. We have a couple of potential collection devices, but no certified labs, so therefore no testing. So why don't you give us a little update on what you think is going to be happening with that and when we should actually expect it. That's really the question we get all the time is, well, when is this coming? You know, when do we need to be prepared for it? When can we start using oral fluid testing?
Well, last year I was telling people January, February of 2025. I'm not telling anybody January and February of 2026. It's definitely unknown, so it's on pause. Our audience will be the first to know when there's any indication that we're going to do DOT oral fluid drug testing. So today, we're going to focus on non-DOT, non-regulated oral fluid drug testing options.
Yeah, and that's a great point because there's a lot of legal changes out there in the different states that have really made that, accelerated that for the non-DOT. Non-DOT oral fluid testing has been around for a number of years.
Long time.
Yeah, it has, and really it's become a lot more popular, I think, in the last few years. You know, Joe, you've been involved with the legal side of things for kind of a long time. Can you tell us a few things about what's maybe sparking that move toward oral fluid? I know it's a lot of state law changes and some other things.
Yeah, well, a lot of the movement is about marijuana because we've got, 26, 27 states that have recreational marijuana, 35 to 40 that have medical marijuana. Mm-hmm. People think marijuana is legal. It's still illegal on the federal level. But different states have different laws about what employers can do or can't do with regard to marijuana drug testing. In New York State, you cannot test for marijuana, okay? In California, you cannot test with a specimen that's going to give you a result based on a metabolite that is not showing current impairment. So in California for marijuana drug testing and in the state of Washington for pre-employment marijuana drug testing, oral fluid testing has become the choice because it's really the only option available. But even around the country, especially with more accidents than ever, higher positivity rates on accidents, post-accident testing, reasonable suspicion testing, we're looking for recent use of drugs. And that's exactly what an oral fluid test gives us is more recent use of drugs.
Yeah, absolutely right. And I think that's what the whole idea of the drug-free workspace has moved toward. It's about that recent usage. So post-accident, reasonable suspicion, because an oral fluid specimen is going to pick up that drug much more quickly in minutes sometimes, as opposed to a urine specimen that might take hours to metabolize. And then, of course, hair takes days before it shows up. So, with the changes to oral fluid testing, out there, what do you think is the best option for employers who may be considering oral fluid testing? Because you can test for a lot of the same drugs out there. So what are some of the benefits of oral fluid drug testing and maybe moving in that direction?
Sure. So particularly for, as I mentioned and you mentioned, post-accident testing, reasonable suspicion testing, I recommend full-heartedly to go to oral fluid for a couple of reasons. Number one, okay, we got a urine cup here, and who uses a urine cup anymore? When you got oral fluid, who wants to pee in a cup? Do you?
I do not.
Let's
but
get rid of that.
Thanks for asking.
Okay.
Thanks for asking. No,
so
I do not.
we got some oral fluid testing options, okay, which is an easier collection, okay.
Right.
Okay, I have a device here, okay, and it's basically a sponge on a stick, and I can put it in your mouth and take it out in 5 minutes and put it back in this tube and ship it off to a lab.
Right.
And a day or two later, I get some results back. Easy collection. This is a lab-based oral fluid test. So I can do it at 12 o'clock at night. I can do it at 2 o'clock in the morning. I can do it anytime. It's easy to train somebody to do this. We also have an option for an instant device. An instant device, again, we got a sponge on a stick. We put it in your mouth.
Right.
We wait 5 minutes, and then we put it into a instant oral fluid test. And we get an instant result, okay? And if it's negative, we're finished. All that happened in less than 10 minutes.
Significantly
Okay,
faster.
so you had an accident or we have a reasonable suspicion, we get this done. Now, if this is non-negative, okay, we are going to seal this up. You know, we're going to put that saliva in there. We're going to read the negative result. We're going to get this sealed and shipped to the lab if it's non-negative for confirmation at the lab, so we're absolutely sure, so we have legal protection, and we're going to have it reviewed by an MRO, medical review officer, to make sure there's no legitimate prescribed medication involved. And we did all this very quickly, very easily, either with a lab-based oral fluid test or an instant oral fluid test. And there is another option.
Yeah, there's another option. What would that be, Joe?
Okay. So there's now what we call proctored oral
there
fluid
is.
testing. Okay. With proctored oral fluid testing, the company would ship this little oral fluid testing device to an employee that maybe works at home, maybe to do a pre-employment test remotely. Okay. They would log in to a system. There's a proctor, live person. Could be you, could be me. Hopefully we don't get that job, but somebody has that job, okay? And the person is given the instructions to put this in their mouth, put it under their tongue.
All under video. You can see
All
everything.
on video, recorded, put it in here, hold the result, hold the device up to the camera. It's negative. Throw everything away. You're negative. Go back to work.
So you can do that with remote employees very easily.
Remote employees
So-
with a live proctor.
So you're saying that we can't do urine collections proctored?
No, we can't do urine collections proctored
that might-
on video. No,
That
we cannot.
that might be
Yeah.
a problem, right?
Yeah. So this is growing, this proctored oral fluid, especially for people in remote areas. Employers could have these on hand. If they don't want to do the collection themselves, they don't want one of their supervisors to do it,
Yeah.
I could put you, Tom, in an office. You're going to log in. You're going to follow the instructions. It's negative. We're good to go. It's non-negative. We're going to ship it to the lab for confirmation testing and medical review officers. So oral fluid testing is growing, okay? If you smoked a joint this morning, we're going to be able to detect it,
Absolutely.
okay? And it could go maybe up to 2 days. Okay, it's not going to go a month like some urine tests might go, okay? But I don't really care what you did last month on Saturday night. Care what you did this morning on the way to work that caused an accident or caused you to have slurred speech, glassy eyes, bloodshot eyes, becoming obnoxious, becoming belligerent, etc.
Right.
So 3 different options for oral fluid testing, okay? Lab-based oral fluid testing, we ship it straight to the lab. No mess, no fuss. We do an instant test. We got to read the results. We do a proctor test, and a proctor at the other end of a video link reads the results. So, any questions?
Yeah, so one of the things that came to mind for that is, that these, when you do send it to the lab, it does go through the same certified lab or a similar certified lab as urine, correct?
Yeah, we use SAMHSA certified labs. They do an initial screening, okay? If you're sending straight to lab for all the testing, initial screening, confirmation testing on non-negatives.
Yeah, tell me about preparing for the test, because there's a big difference between the testing process. So some tests you can prepare for, and other ones you can't prepare for.
Yeah.
So with a urine testing, I have a feeling that you can kind of prepare for that. You're in a bathroom by yourself.
Yeah, urine tests,
Yeah.
you can study, you can stop using drugs, you can hide something, you can bring it in. We know there is cheating involved in urine drug testing. We do the best we can. Okay?
Right.
With an oral fluid test, we're actually going to start by inspecting your mouth. Is there anything in your mouth? Okay, no. Okay, how about drinking some water? Okay, just to be sure, switch around. And then we're going to wait 10 minutes, okay, before we put this sponge on a stick in your mouth.
So less chance of cheating.
Very difficult to cheat. We haven't seen any websites get popped up with how to beat the oral fluid drug test.
Right. And it does mean everything's directly observed too, and you don't have to have a bathroom. You just have to have a private space.
It's hard to cheat when it's a direct observation every single time and somebody is watching you do everything that you're doing. You're not taking something out of your pocket and putting it in your mouth. If you start chewing on the device, it's going to end the event. It's going to be a refusal. Very difficult to cheat. Every collection is observed.
Yeah, and oral fluid testing's been around for what, 15, I think around 15 plus years for non-regulated testing. And we've seen a lot of improvements in the last year, a few years as well. More products coming out on the market. They can test for a larger number of substances. So I think we can pretty much cover the gamut of things, especially for employment testing, right?
Yeah, you can do lots of drugs now. It used to be only 5 drugs. Now it's expanded to about 10 to 12 drugs. There's a lot of advancements and growing in popularity. If you need more information about oral fluid drug testing, whether it be proctored, instant, lab-based, contact Tom, contact myself. You can go to www.nationaldrugscreening.com. Make sure you share our video, like it, send it on to other people, watch our other videos on our YouTube channel. Lots and lots of great information. Tom, thanks for asking some great questions.
Absolutely. It's a great product.
We will see you all in the next video.